Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at a stack of, well, really compelling sources. Police reports, investigative notes, ME findings. Okay, so let's unpack this. We have this fascinating mix of materials, right? Takes us from the city's gritty underbelly right up to its highest social circles. And it's all kind of tied together by this thread of justice and how truth just pops up in unexpected ways.
Exactly. Things that look totally separate at first glance. When you look closer, you start to see these surprising, sometimes really disturbing connections.
So our goal today, our mission, is basically to pull out the key insights from all this stuff.
Right. Helping you quickly grasp not just what happened, but maybe more importantly, why it matters. What it tells us about human behavior, crime, society's reactions, all of that.
We're looking for those subtle threads, yeah, the ones weaving these incidents together.
Precisely, into this really complex human drama.
Okay, so let's start with an image that's, well, it's pretty hard to shake. Imagine Market Street normally just bustling, right? Full of life.
Yeah, a major artery.
But instead, witnesses describe it as just utter devastation. The air thick with smoke, this awful smell of burning rubber, plastic, and horribly human flesh.
One witness even compared it to Baghdad after a suicide bomb, which is, yeah, a stark comparison.
Incredibly stark. This was right after a school bus just exploded catastrophically.
The details from the reports are pretty chilling. You've got chaos, screaming, smoke so thick you can barely see.
And the bus itself, it tells a story, doesn't it? Front tires, okay, back tires flat, points to the blast starting in the rear.
Right, not the engine. And investigators, sifting through everything, found these key pieces, melted glass, these round bits.
Conduction tubes, shards of blue plastic from a cooler maybe, all fused together.
And get this, a triple beam balance, like a sensitive scale.
Huh.
Embedded in a wall blocks away. Shows you the sheer force.
Wow, and all it took apparently was a few gallons of ether and a spark. 3 blocks of the destruction.
Devastating.
And the human cost.
Yeah.
Just awful. 2 adults found, the reports grimly call them crispy critters.
Oh, that's rough.
And then Juan Gomez, Hispanic guy, only 23, but looks maybe 40 from drug use, found dead after being thrown through the windshield.
Jeez.
Investigators saw the signs immediately. The teeth, the aging, and thought, okay, likely a tweaker, the cook, mobile meth lab.
Which instantly makes it a narcotics case, probably DEA involved too.
Right.
And what strikes you immediately is this terrifying mix of, illegal drug making and just public safety. It's right there.
Yeah.
Those tubes, the scale, they aren't random junk. They scream clandestine lab. This wasn't just a fire. It was a meth lab going up. And it's fascinating, right? How something relatively small, hidden in a school bus, can cause such massive damage, 3 whole blocks.
It really shows you how volatile meth production is and how these hidden dangers under the city's surface can just erupt violently.
Exactly, impacting everyone. It's this huge ripple effect, way beyond the blast itself.
Totally unsettling. The idea that this is just operating almost unseen in a major city. But like you said, that's just one thread. And here's where it gets, well, really interesting. Not far from that explosion scene, a totally different kind of tragedy happens.
Okay.
And it shines a light on those people the sources call the unwashed, uncounted, unnoticed, the fringe dwellers.
Right.
So Cindy Thomas, this reporter, she's pretty tenacious.
Yeah.
She finds a homeless man dead near the Caltrain station, an area folks usually ignore, a no-fly zone. Now, the street community knew him as Bagman Jesus. But who was he? People like Louvy Jump, Charles Bunker.
Yeah.
They describe him almost like a legend.
A legend? How so?
Like a shepherd, a friend of the cast-offs. Said he delivered a baby once, stopped a liquor store robbery, worked in a soup kitchen, always had cash for people who needed it.
Wow. So really seen as a leader, king of the street, bum with a heart of gold kind of thing.
Exactly. But the police, initially pretty skeptical. The grim attitude of street people die every day.
Yeah, that's a tough reality.
But Cindy felt it. A story budding. This was different.
And you see that contrast, right? Official view versus the community's reality. The police see stats, maybe. The street sees a vital figure.
Definitely.
And the way he died, brutal.
Yeah.
Multiple blunt force trauma, beaten terribly, and multiple gunshots. Close range.
Yeah, the details are specific. 5.22 slugs in the head, one the likely kill shot, then another shot to the neck, post-mortem.
Whoa. That's intense. Almost ritualistic hatred, not random violence. Suggests a deep conflict simmering there.
A conflict the police maybe dismissed too quickly at first.
It's likely.
So the investigation stalls out. But Cindy puts up her own money, a $25,000 reward. That brings someone forward. Floor of gold.
And
And she drops a bombshell. Bagman Jesus, the street saint. His real name is Rodney Booker. And here's the kicker.
Okay.
Former Stanford student, Peace Corps volunteer, who then took a hard turn into the drug business with a particularly cruel twist.
Oh, man. What kind of twist?
He ran basically a willing harem of teenage crack dealers, paid them in crystal meth, got them hooked, promising outrageous orgasms, then sent them out to sell.
That is incredibly dark, preying on the most vulnerable.
And the connection back to the first story, Rodney Booker bought a 1983 school bus.
No, don't tell me.
Yep, turned it into a meth lab.
Wow. The same kind of operation. So the saint was also the source of the danger.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The layers here are just chilling. This guy presenting as a savior while actively destroying lives and running a drug operation.
It's that shepherd and wolf thing, isn't it? In the same person. How does someone with that background, Stanford Peace Corps, descend into such calculated cruelty?
Makes you wonder about power, even in the shadows.
Absolutely. And how incredibly deceptive appearances can be.
So the investigation picks up steam. Neil and Al Pincus, these prominent lawyers, get implicated. And Sammy Pincus, a teen addicted to meth who worked for Booker.
Okay, so the net widens.
Yeah, and LaWanda Lewis is found with Neil Pincus's registered .22 Rome revolver ballistics match. It was the murder weapon.
Ah, so they have the weapon, link it to the Pincus circle.
But here's the real twist. Maybe anti-justice. When the Pincus brothers are arrested, this crowd gathers from the heart, that soup kitchen Booker worked at, and multiple people step forward, one after another, confessing to killing Rodney Booker, each one saying they did it alone. Call themselves heroes for stopping him.
Wait, multiple confessions for the same murder?
Yep. Franklin Morris, Louis Jump, Mercy, even a prize fighter, all claiming sole responsibility.
Okay, now that is a legal nightmare.
Right. So for you, our listener, imagine being the ADA handed this case.
Yeah, I mean, how do you even start? You've got, 8 confessions, all conflicting, plus a community that basically thinks the victim deserved it and the killers are heroes.
They call it a circumstance-dependent case. ADA Yuki Castellano gets this bomb dropped on her lap.
The strategy here has to be incredibly careful. It's not just proving who fired the gun. It's dealing with this whole vigilante justice sentiment.
You're navigating a community that feels the system failed them.
Right. Exactly. It brings up huge questions. Moral guilt versus legal guilt. How do you uphold the law when the public is cheering for the opposite?
But isn't there a danger there? Letting the community decide justice like that?
Oh, absolutely. It's a slippery slope. Understandable anger, sure. But vigilante action undermines the whole legal system, opens the door to chaos.
So the ADA's job is huge, not just finding the killer, but sort of reasserting the formal system's value.
Precisely. Showing that even awful people get due process, for society's sake, not just theirs. It's that line between righteous anger and just lawlessness.
It really speaks to the integrity of the system, even facing that pressure. So, okay, from Market Street's chaos and this messy street justice, we shift gears again. Dramatically.
Where are we heading now?
To the high-rent districts, glittering society, where another wave of death starts, really perplexing ones, showing how old grudges can fester and, strike again. Decades later.
Oh, okay. Intriguing.
We're talking the Bailey murders, Isa and Ethan Bailey. Rich, beautiful, influential couple, found dead in their fancy bed.
And the cause.
That's the thing. No struggle, no trauma. Initial tox screens, clean, nothing.
2 healthy people just die together.
Exactly. The ME, Claire Washburn, calls it statistically astronomical. She's so skumped she issues Chinese death certificates, pending case open.
Wow. That lack of evidence is precisely what's so creepy, isn't it? Usually forensics finds something.
Right.
But nothing. It screams sophisticated, something insidious that leaves no trace. That pending isn't just an open case, it's a huge puzzle. What kills so cleanly?
Exactly. Then, Sarah Needleman, famous designer, 33 years old, found dead. Same baffling situation.
So pattern emerges.
And it echoes something old. Unsolved high society murders from 1982. People like Pangborn, Godfrey, Kennedy, Ross, all wealthy, died mysteriously.
And the common thread back then?
Chillingly simple. Rich, thin, beautiful, and dead. Same as now.
Okay, so now we're looking at a potential serial situation, maybe spanning decades.
This is where St. Jude, Simon McCorkle, head of cold cases, comes in. Brilliant work. He connects it back to 82. Specifically, the last victim, Christopher Ross.
And what did the Ross case reveal?
The murder weapon, a crate.
A crate, like the snake.
Yep, an incredibly lethal snake from India, illegally imported.
Okay.
Venom is a powerful neurotoxin.
Okay, that's it. Different and hard to detect, I imagine.
Extremely. Bite marks are tiny, like pinpricks, easy to miss, no swelling, no color. And the venom metabolizes so fast, standard tox screens, even back then, found nothing.
So that connects it all, these weird, traceless deaths. It was a crate all along, a serial killer using snakes across decades.
Horrifyingly clever, right? Biological weapon.
Absolutely terrifying. Who would do that?
The killer is identified as Norma Johnson.
Yeah.
She's known as Pet Girl. She was a gopher, ran errands for these wealthy families.
Pit girl. Okay, what's her story?
Here's the twist. Norma was Christopher Ross's illegitimate daughter.
The 1982 victim, his daughter.
Yeah. She went to the same fancy school as Isa Bailey and Sarah Needleman. But after Ross died, his wife fired Norma's mom, cut them off completely, left Norma feeling bitter, like an outcast, like trash.
Wow. So deep resentment, revenge motive.
Looks like it. Her method was meticulous. She called herself a pro, had keys, alarm codes, easy access.
Where she killed the Baileys, Sarah Needleman.
Yep, and even her ex-boyfriend, a rock star named Mackenzie Oliver. His death was first ruled an overdose.
Let me guess they re-examined.
Found the crate bites. Investigators Lindsay and Conklin tracked Norma down. Her apartment, it's a snake house. Aquariums full of crates.
Oh my God.
Big confrontation. Norma holds a crate named Kali to her own neck, taunting them. Conklin gets bitten by another snake trying to disarm her.
Is he okay?
Yeah, thankfully Doc Chesney and Claire Washburn were quick with the antivenom. Saved him.
Close call. Oh, and Norma.
She confesses to all the recent murders, claims she caused them less pain in their deaths than they caused me in one day of my life.
That really captures the depth of her bitterness, doesn't it? It wasn't just killing, it was balancing the scales in her mind.
Yeah, a twisted sense of justice. And then the final reveal.
There's more.
Her father, Christopher Ross, he was the original 1982 snake killer. He taught her how to handle them.
What? He taught her. So the violence was inherited.
Seems like it. She even thinks she might have accidentally killed him. Left a crate in his bed after arguing with his wife.
Unbelievable. A whole legacy of venom and vengeance passed down. It just shows how deep that trauma and bitterness ran.
Yeah. It's this idea of inherited injustice, festering for years, exploding into this calculated, horrific violence.
It really makes you think about how the past, personal, familial, just coils around the present, you know, in these destructive ways.
What a journey, huh? From a meth lab exploding on Market Street through this tangle of street justice, all the way to venomous snakes in high society mansions.
It really covers a spectrum, and this dive highlights some crucial things, doesn't it?
Like what stands out to you?
Well, definitely the hidden consequences of drug empires, how quickly that danger spills out. Then, the really messy moral questions around that community justice for Booker. When does righteous anger become dangerous?
Right, the line is blurry.
And finally, just the sheer depth of hidden motives, the grudges, the trauma, like with Norma, driving these horrifying acts even across generations.
So as you listening, think about all this.
Yeah.
What connections jump out? Maybe that line between saint and villain, how thin it can be.
Or how civility can hide so much malice. Or just how powerfully the past influences the present, whether it's family history or social neglect.
Yeah. These deep dives always seem to show that underneath it all, human nature is just incredibly complex, and sometimes much more dangerous than we think.